Guess what? It's July. Time for a July garden update. Welcome to July 2024 garden update in El Valle de Anton in Panama. Got a little bit of sun right now, which I am very grateful for, and so are the plants. Welcome to the garden tour. I can't even tell you how much rain we have been getting. Someone on Facebook posted that this is the rainiest June and July on record in 15 years. And I believe it. It has been like a biblical type of rain, 4 to 5 inches a day. You know, the kind where you're just praying that nothing is leaking. And I am actually concerned about some of my plants. So we'll get to the garden tour and I'll show you what's blooming, what I'm worried about, and what's next. So I'll start with what I'm concerned about, and that's that green jade vine, the one that was $30, and it's my second one. And I noticed that this ground was so super muddy. I dug some up, I put in some coconut coir, but I've noticed that there's a little bit of dying off on the vines here. The rest of it does look healthy. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe if I dig up a little bit more and add, maybe just add some pebbles. The root really isn't that deep under there, but I mean, you can see even probably just how muddy the ground is. So it's just probably not getting enough air. These plumerias in a pot, I was going to give to someone, but they haven't claimed them. So it really is funny. The more you ignore a plant, sometimes the better it does. This area is going to be for the outdoor shower, but these plants have really started growing. This, I believe, is a type of ginger. So beautifully fragrant. I mean, it's kind of like a honeysuckle fragrance. And then that pink blossomed flower, the butterflies love. My gardener had cut back the lantana, so now the butterflies are really coming to get these plants. Papaya tree here. Not sure if it's it's a female, but I don't see any fruit coming in just yet. All right, let's go over to the hammock patio. I took in all the hammocks. They were getting rained on and getting kind of mildewy. So I took them in, washed them, put them through the dryer. The viney plants that are supposed to grow up over the metal, one is slow growing and the other one is working its way up. And then I have, you know, some of those fragrant ginger plants, and the papaya is growing up here. It'd be cool, you could just lay in the hammock and pick a papaya. Oh, and there's a fruit. These flowers of the papaya plant smell beautiful. So my goal is to just have all these lovely aromatic plants. Let's take a look at the shell ginger, because that is blooming. It's just such a pretty, delicate flower. This clump has grown tremendously from just the small little plant that I put in. Here's that mussaenda. Now it's really starting to fill in how I envisioned it, with these things kind of complementing each other. That's starting to make a nice comeback. The zinnias doing okay. This tall ginger is a white globe ginger, so it's supposed to have that white globe flower that's going to come from the base. I've had two that were partially coming in, and then they died. So again, it could be something with the soil. The fig, I don't think likes being in all the water. I'm pretty sure I remember figs like a little more dry environment, and there is nothing dry right now in El Valle or much of Panama. The avocado's doing okay, so that's good to see. Gardener planted the orchid. Probably going through a little adjustment period. I think it's doing all right. Butterflies really love this bastard vervain. I trimmed it back a little bit to give a little breathing space for these darker colored foliage plants. And I can just keep kind of pruning back this side and encourage it to grow over on this side. This is the plant that really didn't do well in the wind, and I staked it so that it should be pretty sturdy now. Alex, the gardener, planted the hibiscus, cranberry hibiscus. Can't wait to see the flower that's going to come in. The papyrus are loving the water. They love the moisture. So are the plátanos. They're really starting to fill in. That bunch there. One on the other side. Can't see it from here. This palm proving to be super slow grower. The guayaba growing by leaps and bounds. So is this whole area where I put the hibiscus and ginger. Look at those really tall fronds that are growing. But I really do love this combination of the hibiscus and the ginger. Such a beautiful flower. Ooh, big spider I almost bumped right into. That's an orb weaver. I have so many of them throughout the garden. What's going on over here? Muddy, muddy, muddy. This is the drainage ditch. I'll show you just how full and overflowing. I mean, this is a good 1.5 feet, maybe in some spots 2 feet deep. I really love how vibrant these colors are. I know there's another spider. Oh yeah, here it is. It's huge. Look at this one. I don't mind these spiders. I think because I know that they don't pose a threat to me. And they do just kind of hang out in their own webs. These are the papayas in front of my patio. That one has 1, 2 fruits. Oh, it smells so good over here. I think these are marigolds that I planted, and they did start to come in. I lost some of these plants, just so much ground saturation. And I think also just with the heavy rain, the weight of the rain, the force of the rain, the plants can't stand up to it. But I'm definitely noticing the trees are getting more officially tree-like. These I got at a planter that was downtown. They were left to struggle and die, fend for themselves. But we'll see how they come in. I think that'll be a nice little grouping. I really love these. I think that it's probably a succulent of some type. I love that, the different texture that it has. It's like in the little area where I have the bromeliads. I like how it's just a different texture. Originally, I was thinking of having another patio here under the, eventually when that gets all covered with, the green jade vine, I was gonna have a patio. And then somebody asked me like, well, why do you need to have a patio? Just let it be the grass. Well, it's all mud now, so I think that's why I originally thought it should be a patio, because it's just so squishy and oversaturated. I really love this. Let me see if I can get inside there. It's its own little ecosystem. I love how this corner to the left at the patio is really filling in. I think that will help a little bit with blocking some wind when we get into dry season. So I've just got some greenery and the galingal, which will be fragrant once it blossoms. The morning glory is officially dead, but it will self-seed, and I'm sure it'll come back when it's a better time for it. Off in the distance there, you can see that blue ginger. I just love that. I can't even get to it now because all these other plants have grown up. The ylang-ylang tree, doing well. think this is really going to be a nice little corner with the palm to the right, and then that ylang-ylang will be really tall. Just need some things to grow to fill in to make that a little more of a green and privacy. So my gardener got some of these other, I think it's a ginger type plant. Looks like it's dying right now, but they are so fragrant. So I think it'll take root, and that will fill in here. I'm really hoping that this sweet almond is going to make a comeback. I mean, it's still got green growth, but it's not, growing as vigorously as I would have thought. I don't know the name of this plant with the white flowers, but I just think they're so pretty. Just love that configuration. The bamboo is so healthy and lush. It just soaks up all this water. And there are still new shoots coming in on this little clump. And still some new ones over here. I think I'm getting bit by ants. The grass that I thought was dying, purple fountain grass, it is a survivor. It's going to be just fine. My parking area becomes like a pond. I'll show you some video from when we had crazy rain. It just becomes completely flooded. Here's the entrance to the casita, right back there. All right, that concludes the July 2024 garden update. Thanks for watching. We'll see what next month brings. So long from Panama. In case you missed it from my other video, these guys came to the tree outside of my bedroom window for 2 mornings in a row. It was pretty magical.